After a few weeks of summer break, MEPs who have lost their seat in the June elections might be starting a new job. But what are the post-mandate rules applying to their jobs hunt? Since 2023, they have been forbidden from lobbying the European Parliament for the 6 months following the end of their mandate.
After the reforms following Qatargate scandal, Parliament has introduced a new cooling-off period of 6 months that was not present in before. We commented as a window of dressing, so basically it was just to add something, because 6 months we all know that in the first 6 months of mandate there is basically nothing that is going on. There are still the committee that need to be created. There is little legislative activity.
According to Transparency International, in 2017, more than 50% of the former commissioners and 30% of former MEPs who had left politics were working for organizations listed on the EU lobby register. The practice is called revolving doors. It refers to the practice of staff who have worked in the public sector being hired by the private sector. At the time, 50% of Google's registered lobbyists used to work for the EU.
There is the question there if they are working to represent, for example, in a case of members, the citizen that elected them or already the new employee. And then also in terms of the contacts that once they are in this new job or activity, they will use from the previous activity.
It is challenging to quantify this phenomenon because of the lack of monitoring and the grey area around the definition of lobbying. Transparency International says there should be more deterrent sanctions and that this cooling off period should last longer.
It's really a matter of addressing the lack of monitoring, first of all, and then in terms of the Parliament in particular, is also addressing the fact that the cooling off period right now is not enough and is not fit for purpose. It should be longer and equivalent to the transitional allowance.
This duration varies for other civil servants. For example, former members of the European Commission are prohibited to lobby the Commission for 2 years after the end of their functions on issues linked to their former portfolio. This period increases to 3 years for former presidents of the European Commission.